What's going on, everyone? Austin John Plays here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Mario Kart World. The Nintendo Treehouse from E3 finally makes a return for the Nintendo Switch 2 with Mario Kart World as the first game that they are going to be showing off today. First, I'd like to note that the chat is literally filled with people saying drop the price. It has been going on all morning. And a lot of media outlets like IGN had the opportunity to go and take a look at Mario Kart World as well as some other games. So I'm going to be providing some of that information while we go through this Nintendo Treehouse. And this video is edited, so I'm going to be cutting out a lot of the fluff from this very long presentation so you just get the information that you want to hear. Now, we do have the Mario Kart Direct that's going to be happening in, I think, 2 weeks, and that's going to be going over a lot of information. But as of right now, they are playing the demo build. So if you're going to be going to the New York event over this weekend, or I believe it was a Dallas and LA event the following 2 weekends, you are going to be playing this same build that has the core characters unlocked, and then there's also several alternative outfits and several one-off characters like Piano Plant, the cow from Moo Moo Meadows, etc. I have personally seen over 50 different characters throughout all of the character select screen. Individual carts has returned. You're no longer going to be able to customize the individual details, but every cart and bike do have their own specific details. Whenever you're going to be in a flying environment, you're just automatically going to have wings. If it needs to be water-based, you're going to have water features. If it needs to be snow-based, you're going to have snow features. When you go to choose your individual cups, you're going to get a preview of the worlds that you're going to be visiting. Now, the worlds have several iterations depending on what mode you're actually playing in. If it's Grand Prix or Knockout or Free Roam, you're going to experience the course in different ways, maybe backwards, maybe forwards, maybe you're going to do a side lap. But a lot of the way that you experience tracks like whether it was Wario or Waluigi's Mountain, I forgot, from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, how it was one long course, that is going to be very present. Now, there are still some courses that have laps. It's just not a common thing. Oh, the DK level looks cool. Now, in some of these modes, you are going to be at a stop like this. And in some of the modes, you are going to have a rolling start. From what I could tell, the courses that have like a firm lap, like this one, which is going to be 3 individual laps and not one long course, tend to be more of you just start at a starting line. Now, that may not hold true, but that's just what I've observed through I think I've seen about 20 different courses so far. We also see someone grinding right off of the bat, which is cool. There are a variety of new items and items returning and items that are going to be implemented differently. And in addition, you're going to see that at the bottom left, we have 6 coins. There is now a total of 20 coins that a character can have at an individual time. That's one of the new items in this game, the golden shell, that's just going to be flying straight forward in a small line and then dropping coins behind it. You're also going to notice that the bomb is just held behind Mario. You no longer have to hold the item button down in order to do that. By default, any item that can be held behind the character is going to be held behind the character, which is great because people who don't actually know how to play Mario Kart don't even know that that's something that you can do. Oh, I have yet to see someone ride on a wall, and Mario just did it, and that was pretty cool. Items like a banana, you would pretty much always want behind you, but items like a bomb, you have to be more strategic with. We're also seeing here, one of the new items to Mario Kart, is the feather. I do know that it was in battle mode, and now having it in Grand Prix and other features, there's going to be a lot of different shortcuts that you're going to be able to implement. Oh, it just started raining. I wonder if that affects road physics.
I love this detail. You could see how Mario's hat gets wet in the rain.
Oh, yeah. The course is getting completely wet too. It's changing the way it looks, so it's awesome.
So this course, first course like Mario games, pretty simple, pretty straightforward, has some of the features.
All right, next race.
The load times in between these levels is very fast, and I did not cut that. That was just a straight 1-to-1. I think that was like 4, maybe 5 seconds to load between one map to another. Here in the second race, we're starting with a rolling start. You see here, you're sort of driving from the last course into this course. So if you were in Knockout, you would actually be doing that drive. But since you're not in Knockout, you do have the one level end and the next level begin. That's probably why it started with that rolling start, because you're driving from the last level. I've noticed that a lot of these levels tend to be road-based, as you would, because, you know, it's the world and you're driving through the world. And because of that, you're going to be having a lot of, you know, vehicular obstacles. Buses and things like that tend to be much larger, and then you're going to have smaller things like cars that are in the way, and they're much smaller and take up much less of the road space as opposed to like on Toad's Highway, which, as much as I love that level, it is really inconvenient. Now that, I mean, heck, we have double yellow lines in the middle, which are very spread apart for some reason. You being able to have much more of that road space and a lot less of it being that vehicular obstacle, it's not going to be nearly as impeding as it was in previous games, which is good because they're everywhere. I did not realize that center median was a rail. I think it's going to be great to see the different ways that you're going to be able to boost into the rails for another boost. And maybe even if you can feather or mushroom while on the rails. I haven't seen that shown off anywhere yet. Now, I do know that yesterday a lot of media outlets like IGN got access to actually going to these preview events that are held at the different parts of the world. Today is the influencer day, so you're going to be seeing actual gamers going there. I'm not allowed to discuss who is going there, but you're going to be seeing more individual footage from gamers coming out in the next 2 days. I was not invited because Nintendo doesn't like me. Whatever, that's cool. Wait, was he stuck upside down there? Was that because he was in the middle of a flip and then he just landed on his head? Well, he still got first, so the blue shell didn't do that much, right? Also, now that we have 24 players, the point spread is a little bit different. First gets 15, followed by 12, and then 10, then 9, 9, 8, 8, 7, 7, 6, 6, 6, then 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, and then I think it was 2 and then 1. I'm not really too sure. If you're in 24th, you have bigger problems than how many points you're getting. So it really does seem like the first 3 places do have a large inherent advantage, and the higher you place, the more of an advantage you have. Once you're in 4th through 9th, you have a little bit larger of an advantage because only 2 people are getting that point spread. And anything below 9th, you're getting into that triple point spread. So it's not like if you get messed over at the end of a level, you're completely out. So you're not really that far behind if you have one bad race. And I think that's a really good point spread. Again, the load times between these different levels, so fast. And that's why you need the express card that costs double of what an XC card costs. By the way, if you watched my video yesterday on pricing with the accessories, make sure you get one that specifically says express card and not one that's XC, because that's not express card. It's a whole weird thing. You need one that says express card. I ended up buying the 256 gigabyte one. So right here, we're seeing a brand new item, and I actually this is, from what I could tell, a food bag. Something that I was hoping that they would cover is once you unlock this outfit in the middle of a course, does it then become unchoosable from the character select screen? Because I've seen a bunch of different outfits like Mariachi Waluigi, which is a real stunner if you get the opportunity to see him. It also feels like the character select screen goes on for a long time once you unlock a lot of things. So I hope there's an option that you could just have variations of an outfit unlocked under a character, kind of like how if you choose Yoshi in 8 Deluxe, you then get to choose the color of Yoshi, and Shy Guy like that. It's a level with a chew, so there's rails in the middle. I've also noticed there's a lot of bridges in these levels, which provides a lot of opportunity for straight paths. You're just gonna have a random train come on the rails. You can hit the barricades. That's interesting. Something that's also impressive is how many 3D models are on the side just cheering you along. Those don't look like just flat sprites that are just, moving like they did in the previous games to save on memory. Those actually look like 3D models, or just very good flat sprites. Granted, it's Nintendo. If anyone can figure out how to do it, it's them. Super Mario Kart 64 was literally just flat sprites.
Oh, I get you go. There we go. Oh!
Okay, that was interesting. There's a lot of nuances to these levels, especially because you're not playing the same lap over and over. there's so much more of the level for you to experience. I've also noticed that they did the same thing that Mario Kart Tour, the mobile game, does, that you may experience laps in the same level that have variations depending on which lap you're on, so the barricades will move, and I feel like it's a really great way to experience the same level differently. And right from there, they're now going to the DK Spaceport, which is modeled after the original Donkey Kong game. Very excited to see this. Hey, look, there's the chew. The chew is done. Okay, rolling start. You're keeping character positions of where you place last. It also seems like internally they're doing the same coding that they did in the previous games, that when you play, the game decides a rival for you who always gets an inherent advantage, speed advantages, better items, and will typically place as high as possible, and that's the person that you have to defeat. Oh, he drove into that car, but it wasn't like the end of all, the end all be all. He hit it, but he still got his speed boost. So it was like a very small disadvantage. It wasn't like, you know, now you're hit by a car, now you have to stop for 2 seconds. Also, Donkey Kong, his thing of, oh, I did a thing, he dabs now, so that's a thing. The end of the course is just going up a DK ladder. I have yet to see it, so I'm kind of excited to see it. By the way, if they are saying anything important during this treehouse, I am going to be talking about that. They're just sort of just generally talking about the level. So right here, the player isn't getting the item, but I'm seeing an item present that I've yet to see before, which looks like Hammer Bro hammers. And it looks like 2 rails, 2 precipice blades of hammers that come out. And they're being thrown directly from behind Mario, so maybe Peach had it. And it just makes these 2 lines. I've yet to see that one in action. There's also the Kamek one that turns everyone into a character. The same character for a short period of time. I don't really know the point of that. There's also Slipstream. When you drive directly behind a character, you can get that speed boost. It's Mecha DK.
See, Robo DK.
Okay, Robo DK, whatever. It's Mecha DK. 5 more laps. It says 4 of 8, but it really does seem like a lot of this ladder is going to be laps. And even though these areas are literally just straight paths, it seems like very fun and interesting how you're going to be going through it. It also seems like these obstacles aren't that hard to avoid. And these levels have to be wider to accommodate 24 players on it. So it's nice to see everything really scaled up so you can sort of not feel so claustrophobic on the tracks. I also have confirmation that, like in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, to do the tricks, you can either do a button command or you can do motion controls. I've never been a fan of motion controls. Oh, these barrels look much harder to avoid, especially now that you're tiny. Oh, but then, you know, randomly they're just gonna bounce up. Okay. Is there Pauline at the end? Do you save Pauline?
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Well
yes.
done.
Okay.
Well done.
I don't see Pauline. Immersion is broken. Oh, and then you drive off. I wonder if it's set up that way during a different mode. You're going to be going to the spaceport and now you're going to be flying off to another level. Imagine like there's a custom race mode and you're like, okay, we're gonna do spaceport 10 times. Now here in Treehouse, they're doing free roam. Actually, the 2 people I see loving free roam are younger audiences and speedrunners. People who want to like find the fastest route between places and they're like, oh, I want to practice this one section 28 times. Also to unlock all the different foods for the different outfits, assuming that's how you unlock the character customization. Also, free roam before you start an online match. You know how it was just everyone waiting with their Mii? Instead, you actually get to free roam through the course you're about to do. The map in the bottom right seems like an overhead view of the course that you're currently on. And it is a 3-dimensional map, so you can see if there's obstacles or bridges above you. As soon as they pull up the map, you see that they're highlighting over Mario Speedway or whatever it's called. You see how there's a total of 10 different Mario icons here, 4 of them are blacked out. This leads me to believe that the various meals that you're going to be getting on this level are going to be unlocking all of the variations of that character's outfit. My question is, are there 10 variations of all of the core Mario Kart character outfits? Also, you see Moo Moo Meadows over there at the top right. Is that where you unlock the cow's alternative outfits? We also see in the bottom left, your amount of P-switches, your amount of question mark blocks, and your amount of Princess Peach coins. It makes me wonder if these are just collectibles or if they're used as some sort of in-game currency at some sort of shop to unlock something. Over here at Crown City, we see that there's 10 different unlockables that apparently have not been unlocked. Oh, the question mark blocks in the bottom left corner are most likely how many total alternative outfits you've unlocked from food throughout the world. I also just noticed that this landmass here somewhat closely resembles the United States of America, and where Florida would be is where DK Spaceport is, because in Florida is where we launch rockets from. And then in the American Southwest, that's where you have the railroad track because of how that worked. And then you have this very LA looking area over here to the left. You have this Crown City being a very New York area looking over here to the right. I think that's fun. That's fun. So up here would be Europe, where apparently Princess Peach lives. Up there is Canada, which looks like a desert. A little confusing there. So maybe it's loosely inspired, but if we look to the top right, where Asia is, we see the level that the Red Dragon Japanese looking level. And then we have the Sahara over here, which is Africa. And then we have Australia down here because it has really scary monsters and spiders and things that try to kill you, and apparently dinosaurs. Over here in the middle of the ocean, we have like your Maldives or whatever. I see the loosely inspired by the world concept that they did here from Mario Kart World. Something interesting just happened. They got like a little pop-up for, I'm gonna call it an achievement. It may not be an achievement. You drove 300 kilometers in total, sponsored by Banana Natural Oil.
All right.
Look at that.
So here's photo mode. That just pauses your character wherever they are, whatever action they're doing. And that is all that they showed off of Mario Kart World, and I provided you a lot of details that we got from press day when they provided a bunch of information there. So I hope I was able to add a little bit more explanation and detail. Now, once again, these games are expensive, and it's up to you to decide if this is the value for you. However, with the bundle, it's only going to be $50, and it also makes me wonder if they're going to be implementing the game passes that they have on the Nintendo eShop. So right now, you pay $100 and you get 2 digital versions of one of the Nintendo first-party games. If they start implementing that for the Switch 2 games, then the games are going to be even cheaper. We're going to have to wait to see how all that pans out. If you would like to leave a comment here about the content I'm providing and some feedback, that's always welcomed and appreciated, but don't give me their complaints, please. I don't have Doug Bowser's phone number. If I did, he probably would have sent me to the press day or the influencer day, which is right now. As you can tell, I'm not that guy. So thanks, everyone, for being here. And I'm going to be providing more coverage, summarizing everything that's going to be going on for the rest of the tree houses, so you don't have to sit through the long explanation full of colorful commentary and actually get useful information about the games. Thank you so much for being here. If there's another treehouse video, I'm sure Future Austin put it right there, and it's been over my face the whole time, so you should probably watch that next.